Hey there guys, and welcome back to Alex Invest. Today the markets are a little bit mixed to green, I would say. And it's interesting. The market really doesn't know what it wants to do. Does it want to go up? Does it want to go down? Kind of just wants to stay where it is right now and just kind of flatline. And that's okay, I think, for right now, because in the next few weeks, what I think is going to happen is I think we're going to see the market kind of recover and continue on an upward trend here. And the reason for that is a few things, but I think people are getting used to higher kind of bond yields already now, and we're kind of seeing that because we had a big spike in bond yields this morning, and yet stocks are mostly up today. Now, the stocks that aren't up today, we'll go through this quickly, are obviously the ones that I've been purchasing, right? MVMD is one that I'm very bullish on right now, and we've just been kind of coming down, and it's interesting, but I see a bit of a cup and handle pattern here too, so I don't know, we could see something here soon, guys, and obviously this is news dependent too, right? This stock, CMC and HRH, those are the three stocks we're kind of talking about today, and they're all pretty news dependent here, right? MVMD within the next 60 days should have two FDA approvals that are going to be coming out and basically shared as news, right? And I think that's going to be a big catalyst for them, especially their desiccated liposome one. So keep an eye on this one. I don't think it's too bad of a spot to get in here. I was buying kind of throughout this dip continuously. I have not picked up any shares yet today. If we kind of break through here, we might see us continue back on an uptrend. So we'll have to see what happens there. Now, CMC been recovering as well today, actually, starting off kind of coming down, and I've been picking up this one as well. I picked up actually shares at the 1.19 level, and so yeah, and some more today as well, actually right down here at the $1 mark. I picked up some shares because, like I've been telling you guys as well, anywhere between sort of $1 range, anything below $1 is a good spot to get into this stock, and I'll go through why right now. And it's kind of because of all these JV agreements they have, right? And this is, we talked about this in our video on Monday, so you can go check that out. I'll leave it linked up top here. But what I forgot to tell you guys is kind of how these JV agreements work. So basically with RUEI here, right, they're spending, the partner, which is RUEI, is spending all the capital costs in order to build the factory. So CMC doesn't have to bear any of those costs, right? And we can kind of see that right here. Now, on top of that, though, CMC also gets a 7% management fee on all capital expenditures related to the project costs, which means on this $50 million that RUEI is spending here, 7% of that goes to Cielo. And now another 30% markup on the catalyst, which is used in the process of making this diesel, so it's a continuously used product here, that they're getting a 30% markup on here. Now, how these JV agreements work, though, is essentially 50%, basically 70% is given to the JV partner, which in this case is RUEI, and 30% is given to Cielo. Now, that is only up until all the capital expenditures have been paid off. Then the venture becomes a 50-50 venture. So 50% of the revenues, essentially, or profits, I guess, will be going to Cielo, and 50% of the profits will be going to RUEI after sort of that initial payoff. Now, that initial payoff will happen within sort of 1.5 years, because they kind of say they project about $33 million of revenue in their Calgary facility. Now, I'm assuming that kind of takes over to the other facilities there as well. Now, they do have one with Seymour Capital, which was a 50-50 venture right from the get-go. However, it's still the 7% capital management fee and the 30% obviously on the catalyst. However, RUEI, I believe, has purchased Seymour Capital, so that deal might now go to a 70-30 deal as well, up until the payoff, and then 50-50. So pretty good there, though, as well, especially because of the fact, and we talked about this on Monday, because of the fact that you don't need any capital expenditures from Cielo here, and that's going to mean no debt, no financing, and all good things for shareholders, in my opinion. Now, the other interesting thing there, though, right, is at the bottom here, Mr. Allen here, the CEO, right, Don Allen, says while we highly value our JV partnership with RUEI, Cielo can confidently source its own funds to build facilities in additional territories throughout Canada, the United States, and beyond. So essentially, what they're saying here is that, yeah, the JV partnerships are fantastic. However, we are looking to build our own facilities too that we 100% own, and they have the capital to do that, they say. So that is going to be a whole nother aspect there. Now we've got 8 facilities right now that are JV partnerships, one which belongs to Cielo, and that is kind of their original Aldersyde facility there, right, which they're also expanding. Now they will potentially be opening some new facilities on their own dollar here as well, which, you know, they'll have revenues from some of these other JV partnerships too, so it'll be quite easy for them, again, without financing, without debt, right? So good news there. They're already expanding into the US. I could see them expanding into the US more, and obviously throughout Canada there. So big things going on in Cielo here, and I think with some news here coming out, with kind of people understanding these JV partnerships and everything, we're going to see the price move up quite heavily, especially with some of the revenues they're going to get, like we said last time, cash flow within the next 2 to maximum 3 years here, right? So all good things happening there, guys. Now, as for HRH, I wanted to talk to you guys about HRH a bit here too, right? Because obviously they have that move to the CSE, right, from the TSXV. Now, they say this is a good thing, but it's kind of interesting because Very Good Foods, for example, has actually just filed to be on the a TSXV instead of the CSE. They're moving to the TSXV, and that seems to be sort of a more general trend for companies, that they're moving away from the CSE towards the TSXV, and so I find it interesting that HRH is actually deciding to move to the CSE, and kind of the reason behind the fact that Very at least moved over to the TSXV is because certain brokerages like Wealthsimple, for example, they don't offer stocks on the CSE, but they do on the TSXV. So they're hoping that they're going to get sort of more buyers on the TSXV, because there are just more buyers in general to buy the stock, right? So that's kind of one thing about that, but also HRH, very news dependent here, right? And turning into heat, of course. Now, that whole process to get onto the CSE has taken a while, guys. So that's not great news for us. But in general, the share prices remained very, very stable at sort of the 0.2 level, right? And sort of in this range here, and big support at the 2.2 level. So that's really, really good. I don't see us really coming much below this. If it hits the 0.2, that's where I'm picking up shares personally. So yeah, and all news dependent, right? Again, that's why Friday we see this jump in the stock, all because people are thinking there might be news on the weekend, etc. So every Friday we see this jump in the stock, and then Monday on no news, Tuesday on no news, we kind of come back down to that 0.2 level. But again, we do not really dip below that 0.2 level. So good things in HRH2 moving forward. They have obviously those pictures as well on their website. There's a Facebook group and for HRH, and there's this one photo which basically shows Tesla charging stations at the back. Now that could be very bullish, but it could also mean absolutely nothing. So we'll have to see there. But again, yeah, HRH, another really, really good stock in my opinion. Now, of course, it's going to take them a while to kind of get moving here. That's the other thing there is, this one, they're still very, very early stages. They haven't even gotten the deal with Inigo yet. They haven't gotten their deal with AC/DC yet, and any of the other deals they're looking for. Now, that means they basically haven't really advanced their product at all yet from what they're looking to do, right? And they kind of need these partnerships for what they want to do. So because of that, early stages, still a very low priced stock. Once they get that Inigo deal though, I see a big run coming there first of all, and then the AC/DC deal even more so. Like, that's kind of why we've been hovering here, right, on rumors that we're going to see sort of this Inigo deal come right after the listing on the CSE under heat. And that's why we came up right from here, and then we haven't really come down since. This 0.2 level is kind of where people are willing to hold and wait and buy shares, because they believe that we're going to see this Inigo deal. We're going to see the AC/DC deal, etc., and then that's just going to rocket this price up. So I would just wait, hold, buy it around the 0.2 here for now. And you know, it could be a month, it could be 2 months, but eventually we're going to see these deals come out. And I think it's going to go quickly once we see that CSE move where they're changing their ticker to heat. I think that's really where we're going to see things start, and an ego deal soon after. So that's kind of that there. That's really all I wanted to talk to you guys about today as well. So have a wonderful Friday. Enjoy the Friday. Enjoy a little bit of green. Enjoy a little bit of mixed. And just enjoy the weekend too, you know, take some time off of stocks and just enjoy. So have yourselves a wonderful weekend. I will see you guys on Sunday, and happy investing as always.